there aren't a long list of people that I sit and listen to and learn something from regularly. Jason happens to be one of those people. And Jason has a wide degree of experience with coaching, mentoring, leading. He also is leading the company. It's AI marketing. What's
Academy. Yep.
Academy, AI Marketing Academy, that has ballooned in size and has had a tremendous influence on the industry with educating and empowering agents with regards to all things AI and above. And he's going to go deep today on some topics that he's really passionate about. I will tell you, Gabe, I think you would agree, they're in for a treat, don't you think?
Oh, it's incredible. The same thing. In fact, Jeff and I were just at an event, and the same thing is like we're at a lot of these, and everybody's, I mean, all speakers provide something, but there's just times where you make sure you're saving time and going, and just got to listen to you speak a few weeks ago. Jeff and I were both over there, so it was incredible, and I'm gonna be talking a lot less on these, which I'm looking forward to, and taking a lot more notes. So
Yeah, me too. Me too. Jason, yeah, take it away, buddy.
Yeah. Hey, I want to say thank you very much. It's an honor to be with this amazing group. Barry, Gabe, Jeff, you guys are all rock stars. This is a privilege. And I want to say to everybody watching, I love that it's this group because I already know you're incredibly digitally minded. You're already invested in amazing technology to help you scale your marketing mix. Hence, it's a Ylopo webinar. And so I have to say, this is going to be a special group where I think I would like you to look at me as the and then. It's a little bit extra. I want to put some gravy on top of what you've already got going on for you digitally speaking because so much is happening. And let's just absolutely crank the flywheel in terms of the possibilities of putting AI to work in your business. So, gentlemen, if you're okay, I'm going to click the little screen share button and I'm going to jump into some slides. I will give everybody a link to access my slides when the training is done immediately, so you can just immediately download them. That way you can take action. You're going to find that I will call this to your attention as we get into it. I've actually hyperlinked a lot of so you like download the slides as a PDF. And if you click on certain slides, it actually opens up web pages where I'm going to share some prompts with you that you can just then copy and paste into your ChatGPT or Claude or what have you. So that being said,
can I ask one quick question, Jason, before
yeah,
you
please.
start? Is this being recorded?
It is on. I see the light blinking at me.
Just make sure, yes, this is being recorded. There will be a replay. Just want to make sure we don't get a ton of them as you're getting into the good stuff and we're answering questions about being recorded. So
yeah, and that's a great point, Gabe. And we are going to move at a pretty fast pace. So I would encourage you, even if something didn't fully connect, remember, I'm going to give you all the slides. The slides have a lot of extended resources to help you dive into maybe some of the nuance that was maybe over your head. I don't want to create a fire hose situation for you, but I want to be prepared to keep us moving because my goal today is to expose you to the possibilities of what can be done with AI and your marketing. So, all right, here we go. Slides are coming on up on screen. If we are not buddies on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or whatever your preferred social media platforms are, I would love to be considered a resource to you there. If you scan that first QR code, which I'm sure by now everyone knows how to scan QR codes, I'm especially talking to Ylopo group, but in case you don't, you turn the camera on your phone and it will find a hyperlink there. We've all scanned enough menus since COVID, but I digress. This one just goes to my link tree where you can find me on social different platforms, whichever one you want to be on. I want to be a resource for you there. I appreciate the warm sentiments from Barry in the opening remarks. He mentioned that I lead AI Marketing Academy. We are real estate's most actionable tactical training platform. It is not an online course. It is an academy where we have continuous learnings and continuous tactics and strategies designed to help you what we call AIify your marketing. And it's specifically geared toward your marketing. That means your videos, your social, your emails, your SEO, your marketing strategy. How can you week by week, month by month through the trainings, AIify it where you're able to effectively do more, do it faster, and do it better. Now, these three words are going to serve today as really the filter of what can AI do for you. It can help you do more. It can help you do it faster. It can help you do it better. And if it cannot check those three boxes, I'm not interested in it. One more note to make is, I think you already kind of inferred this from me, but we're going to be talking today about AI as it relates to your marketing. AI is going to seep into literally everything. It already is seeping into everything in our lives. And while I think there's a lot of incredible AI out there, if it doesn't check these boxes of helping you scale your marketing, it's not my field of study. It's not what I'm here to help you do. Today, I'm going to put it to work in your business to grow your pipeline, build your brand, and attract more business. Lots of people are using AI for different purposes. I travel quite a bit and I speak quite a bit at different events. And I often ask realtors, how are you using AI? And I hear a range of answers, and I will admit people's use of it is getting deeper and wider as I ask the question as the weeks pass by. But still, the average person, they're using it to help them write emails better. They're using it to help them brainstorm some ideas for videos, things of that effect. But today, what I want to do is widen your mind, your thinking in terms of what's possible with AI. How big of a deal is AI? And my hope today is that a light bulb goes off for you. It won't be something I said. It'll be something I said that inspired the thought in your brain. And the thought that happens in your brain, that's the best part of the entire webinar today, because all I'm doing is sharing ideas with you. And if I can activate you to take action on some of these ideas or modify them for your own self, then I've done my part. I want to see you listen through the lens of what's going to move the needle in your business, in your marketing, because AI is the biggest technological change any of us, no matter our age, has ever lived through. I'm a major fan of the author Seth Godin. He's written more best-selling books than I think anybody else on the subject of marketing. I would dare say he is the #1 premier marketer alive today. When it comes to the principles of good marketing, this guy is literally brilliant. He was on a podcast, it's been over a year ago now, this podcast, and they were interviewing him and they were talking about, you guessed it, marketing. But then the podcast host shifted his line of questioning and said, "Hey, Seth, for anybody listening or watching right now on this podcast, as it relates to AI and just the emergence of AI, what would you say about AI to anybody listening right now who is running a business, who is looking to advance their career from a professional perspective?" And without missing a beat, Seth Godin says AI is the biggest change since electricity. It's even bigger than the internet. And I'm like, man, those are big words. I mean, no disrespect to the internet. I depend on it right now. This webinar is going to crash and burn if we don't have the internet. Notwithstanding, I wonder, is your thinking aligned with how big of a deal is this? Have I been giving due attention to the possibilities of AI, or have I been sort of taking a back seat with it? You know, a lot of people have different perspectives over AI. Some people are afraid of AI. They're like, Jason, hello, we've seen the movies. It's called Skynet, and I don't want to be John Connor running for my life from a Terminator machine. And a lot of people have these sort of doomsday scenarios about AI. Frankly, I don't see it that way. My personal opinion is AI is a tool. A tool in the hands of people with good intentions will do good things. A tool in the hands of crummy people is going to do crummy things. It's like money or anything else that's a tool that is up to the user in terms of what they're going to do for it. My experience with AI is it's going to help you do more, do it faster, do it better. Now, there may be some who are like, isn't AI going to possibly cause me to lose my job? Is it going to replace agents? To which I would say, no, I don't believe AI is going to replace agents. In fact, I think it's going to enhance you, not eliminate you. Nonetheless, in my opinion, the biggest systemic competitive threat against your future as an agent, it is not AI. It is other agents who have more effectively put it into their workplace, and they're going to leave you behind. I think about it like this. AI is, imagine we're at a bullet train and everyone's boarding the bullet train. You can either get on board and fly into the future, or you're going to be left waiting for the next train. And waiting for the next train could be the cost of business. I'm not trying to be a fearmonger. I'm not trying to scare you. I am trying to wake you up to, are you thinking big enough about what could be done with AI? Because it is the biggest change since electricity. Today, we're going to get into quite a few tools. We've got about 50 minutes to roll here together. I want to talk a lot about prompts today. Now, I wonder if in the chat, for 8,250 fake points, who can give us a super simple definition of a prompt? What in AI is a prompt? On your marks, get set, go. Let me hear it in the chat. There's like a 6-minute, okay. Oh, D wins. D got there. That was fast. Okay, D's the only one who commented, so I'm glad D got it right. Instructions, or Rick said a directive. Yeah, instruction is really the word that is most synonymous with the prompt, rules of engagement. I'm going to give you 5,000 fake points for just, that was a creative way to say it, Ned. I like it. It's an instruction. I can tell AI to answer my question. I can tell AI to write a video script. I can tell AI to analyze some data I give to it. All of these tellings of AI, they're instructions. A prompt is just an instruction. I'm going to give you a bunch of prompts today. I think I'm going to give you 4 to 5 of my prompts. A little bit of a note, my prompts are typically about 2 pages long. So it's going to be a copy and paste scenario. That's part of what I said in my slides is hyperlinked. I use what's called modular prompting. Modular prompting means I have gone through all the scenarios and I am telling your machine when you copy and paste my prompts into your ChatGPT, all the sequence of steps to be done to perform a specific marketing technique. And so it's sort of like, imagine a little seed. I'm going to give you a seed that's going to grow into a big tall tree once you plant it inside of your chatbot, like ChatGPT, like Gemini, like Grok, whatever you use. We're going to also talk today about getting recommended in AI search. I got to tell you, I think this right here is the biggest goldmine opportunity. If you are optimizing yourself to get discovered in AI search, you're positioning yourself to get listings, get buyers, get them immediately, because this is just a Oklahoma land rush kind of moment right now, a California gold rush. There's a lot happening here. We're going to talk about some AI that produces video called Veo. This one is owned by Google, hence the colors of Google. And one of the core frameworks I teach inside of AI Marketing Academy that I think helps a lot of students and members understand AI in terms of its usefulness as a tool is to think of AI through the lens of input output. You are the input. You put a prompt in the machine. That's your quarter that goes into the machine and it produces an output for you. So who's the input? You're the input. It's your prompt. And then it produces an output, input, output. Those outputs, they will always come in the size, shape, and form of words, images, sounds, and videos. And so today we're going to expand beyond just text-based prompts. We're going to be getting into video. And if you think about modern marketing as it exists today, every kind of marketing that there is some combination of words, images, sounds, and videos. Podcasts apply, postcards apply, social media posts apply, videos apply. And so we're going to talk about more than just text and writing stuff. We're going to get into multimedia. We're going to literally build email newsletters together today. Now, I know you already get a lot of email support through a lot of your tools built in. My goal is to help augment and go beyond and on top of that, not to replace anything. I want to expand what's possible and show you there's this AI called Claude. And Claude, this may sound scary at first, but today I'm going to turn you into a full stack web developer. Even if you don't know a lick of code, we're going to be coding HTML beautiful emails. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if there's somebody in this session who is a web developer and what I just said sounds like treason against the oath you swear as a software developer, but I don't care. We're going to teach you how to code today. It's called vibe coding. We're going to break into podcasting today, only we're going to do it where you never have to speak a word, and yet the podcast will sound just like you using a tool called ElevenLabs. And then last, I saved this sexy word blogs for last. We're going to talk about blogging, and I'll kind of give you the spoiler alert on why. It's because more people are asking questions in AI. Things they used to Google, now they're asking ChatGPT. And where is ChatGPT getting its answers from? We call these citations. I'm going to get your blogs to be the citations that insert you into the chats that these people are having with their AI to recommend you as the authority and the thought leader in your local marketplace. For the most part, we're talking about AI today in terms of how it can scale your marketing, but there's going to be some aspect of what we cover today about, well, how are your prospective customers using AI, and how can we get you, your business, inside their chats with AI? So hopefully that kind of gave you the sense of we're taking this from all angles today to build your marketing mix with AI. Specifically, I know it said 5, we're going to get through 4 today. 4 amazing applications of AI, creating content, building your marketing mix, attracting more customers. We're going to talk about how to get you recommended by AI first, called generative engine optimization. And then you can see I've sort of faded out the other 3 that we're going to move into as we progress in our session today. But I got to tell you, this word right here, generative engine optimization, the G is for gold rush, Goldilocks moment, generative engine optimization. You've heard, of course, of search engine optimization. Search engine optimization is Google. It means optimizing your digital presence to be discovered on Google. We know through a lot of data that there is an incredible pressure on you as an agent to be found online. I mean, think about it like this. You go to an open house. Historically, you kick it off really great with somebody. They go home. What do? Historically, they Google you. Only now they're ChatGPTing you. In fact, we know from research that 1000 Watt conducted, and this research is about a year old, And so I would expect that it's actually even more prolific than it was when they did the research. They did a giant consumer survey where they asked specifically sellers, where and how did you find your listing agent? And they listed off all the top sources. And I'm gonna skip to the end. Most sellers come one of two ways. They either find their listing agent by way of referral or by way of research. There is this tug of war between referral and research. And what's interesting is whether you look at the National Association of Realtors data or 1000 Watt or some other source, I don't think you can dispute this. There is in our industry an erosion against referrals. At the same time, I would be the first to argue to you that real estate is, always has been, always will be a know you, like you, trust you business. It just is. It's a relationship business. But the way in which a consumer feels the sense of I know them, like them, trust them is shifting from the perspective of mom and dad or the neighbor next door to instead they're asking the internet. They're reading reviews and opinions of strangers in terms of do they endorse and recommend this agent or not. And so I think it's probably unsurprising to you that I would say something like, someone finds you on Zillow, they're still going to look you up on Google, they're going to read your reviews and so forth. What I want to prepare you for now is that we've moved beyond just Google. People are asking ChatGPT, they're asking Gemini, they're getting Google's AI overviews. AI search is really stepping into the fold. For example, I asked this question in our private Facebook group. I asked all of our AIM members, AI Marketing Academy, we call it AIM, as in AOL Instant Messenger. I'm just kidding. That's bygone. We asked, where are you actually getting like real wins in your business when it comes to AI? Because yes, we can talk ad nauseum about how AI is helping you multiply your marketing. And so by extension of your marketing, yeah, you're getting more business opportunities. But overwhelmingly, this comment thread turned into people keep saying ChatGPT recommended me. And so today we're going to talk about how do you make sure it recommends you to your customers. Of all the things I say to you today, this is the low-hanging fruit opportunity. I want you to pinky promise me that what I tell you on this webinar, you will put into action because it is so easy. I don't think you can afford not to do it. Tammy Price here. She's like, my last 4 buyer clients came to me after ChatGPT recommended me. 1 closed today, 2 under contract, got a listing. And you might have noticed this. I was recommended as an agent who's familiar with VA loan assumptions. That's awfully specific and granular. Well, what you're going to find is the way people are searching AI is vastly different. Now, we are at this digital crossroads, a crossroads of search versus ask. I don't know who invented the search bar. I don't know if it was Ask Jeeves. Maybe it was Dogpile or Earthlink. No idea. But I think you're going to agree with me that the search bar right here that Google is so well known for has become sort of the cornerstone, the centerpiece of every website and every app. If I go to Zillow.com, what do I see front and center in the header of the page? I see a search bar. If I go to your websites, what do I see front and center in the header of the page? I see a search bar. But I got to tell you, search is becoming ask. And we're going to get into ChatGPT now has Zillow inside of it, but I digress. Search is becoming ask. There was a giant study that Cornell University just released a couple weeks ago. And what they found is that the behaviors of how people search AI compared to how they searched Google formerly are way different. What they found about Google search is people tend to use a technique called keyword foraging. They'll use a few words, see what the results look like, and then they might redo their search and then redo their search until they get to the thing they're trying to understand or search for. Versus on ChatGPT and other like AIs, people literally just spill their guts in a prompt. They're going to tell AI, I'm looking for an agent who does this, not that, not that. They're in this, they do this. And they're going to literally put everything out like they're writing a Christmas wish list for Santa Claus. Everything and then some is going to be in that prompt. And so when I said, isn't it interesting how Tammy was found because of her experience with VA loan assumptions? That shouldn't surprise you because we should expect that if I can just ask my genie, ChatGPT, magic wish, I want this agent, and then presto, it finds one for me. I'm going to do that like a moth to the flame every time because it is so massively convenient. Search is shifting to ask. And where people are asking include these platforms. ChatGPT, by and large. Gemini is the AI that powers everything Google. So that includes their AI mode, that includes their Google AI overview, that even includes the actual Gemini platform itself. It's all the same thing, but it's their version of ChatGPT. Grok is Elon's platform. It's Twitter, x.com. It's pretty popular. Perplexity, this one's actually the very first ever AI search engine. This one existed. It's really, I wish I had time to tell the story. The founder of this company, they're San Francisco based. He was an employee of Google, and he brought to the executives' attention at Google, hey, are you noticing that people are asking search questions on ChatGPT? And the people at Google were like, they're just playing around. This is child's play. It's nothing serious. They're not doing any serious research there. And he goes, I think you're wrong. And he leaves and starts Perplexity. And they are ridiculously awesome at what they do. And I'm like, man, when I heard that story, I'm reminded there's this principle in marketing, Clay Shirky. It's called the Shirky principle. Says that the nature of an institution is to preserve the problem for which it is the solution. And I'm like, Google, you weren't hearing it because you weren't listening for it. Let that be a reminder to us. We don't hear that which we do not listen for because we become blinded by the way things work now, but things are changing and they're changing fast as Google is learning and trying to catch up. Claude is an amazing AI. We're going to talk about them today more through, they do really good coding. People will use them for search, but it's not what they're best known for. And then Copilot is Microsoft, which is kind of a cousin of ChatGPT. And the reason for that is because Microsoft originally bankrolled a lot of OpenAI's creation of ChatGPT. And so you're going to find a lot of similarities. Why am I telling you this? I don't know. Really, what I want you to hear is people are shifting their search from Google to AI. And I'm going to teach you today how to optimize for AI search. And the principles I teach you will apply across all of these. Wherever buyers and sellers are asking AI, I want them to find you and your business. This is what SEO, local SEO, has been for the last several years. I've been out on the road for a decade, basically, preaching to realtors, you got to get more Google reviews. Customers are looking you up on Google and they're reading what customers say about you to determine should they work with you. You got to get reviews so that you rank in this thing called the Google Map Pack. And you're going to hear me say today that I believe reviews still matter, but we are currently living through a blip where reviews matter a lot less than they did, and I'll teach you why. This is local SEO. Here's one of our members, the W Group, led by Trey Willard. They're #1 in the Map Pack, but if you shift the question, look, I said best realtor in Baton Rouge. That was my search, and Google inferred, oh, a local search. Give them the local Map Pack. But if I turn that search into a question, who's the best realtor in Baton Rouge? Google thinks we need AI. Here, let's bring AI in. And it slides in its AI overview, as you can see right there. And AI overview then has its own citations, and its answer is based upon those citations. I'll tell you more about that in a moment. Let's answer this question together. How do you win AI search? How do you win when customers do this? Watch. Who's the best realtor in Fort Worth, Texas? They ask ChatGPT, they ask Claude, they ask Grok, whatever. And if you scroll to the bottom, you're going to notice sources. Citations, sources means the same thing. There is a technique in AI called augmented retrieval, or retrieval augmentation is actually what it's called. And what that means is if you ask a question to ChatGPT and it senses from your question that you're looking for a timely, current answer, it will automatically conduct a web search on your behalf and then report back what it found online. These answers, these recommendations of agents are not based upon any of ChatGPT's own knowledge. They are based entirely on what it found to be true on the internet. And so, wait a minute, Jason, are you saying if I can figure out what are the websites that continually ranks over and over and again, if I can influence those, then by extension, I can influence my name getting dropped in more chats? That's exactly what I'm saying. So what are those websites? You should put yourself in the shoes of a prospective customer, and you should search as if you're them. What are they going to look for that you wanted to recommend you? And then pay attention to which websites does it continually source over and over again. I'll bet you're going to keep seeing these. Fast Expert, Real Trends, Yelp's 10 Best, Homelight powers US News, Zillow, Redfin, Realtor Homes, Expertise.com, Facebook, your brokerage or brand website, and your website. These are going to be now, or I should say, potentially your website if you put the right content on your website. These are going to be the sources that your ChatGPT, your buyers, your sellers, ChatGPT keeps going to again and again and again. So step one is you need to pay attention to which websites is AI looking to recommend realtors. Make sure that you're on those websites consistently. Number two, you should recognize this, that AI cannot read reviews. I'm going to say that again. Alert. ChatGPT, Grok, even Google's AI overview, Perplexity, all of them cannot read reviews. Reviews from Zillow, from Yelp, from Google, from Facebook are not factored into its recommendations. Even Google's own AI overview does not look at Google Business Profile reviews. They are excluded because they're considered dynamic content. And when they go to crawl those pages, the platforms say, bot, get out of here, scram, we don't want you. Now, I want you to remember, ChatGPT is not saying to the customer, hey, here's my recommendation of a realtor. You should bear in mind, I only have partial data. I can't read reviews, just so you know. No. Instead, ChatGPT is giving a perfectly worded, confident answer. You should really talk to Barry Jenkins. He crushes it because of boom, 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 and boom. Now, if the customer knew that every TripAdvisor, every Yelp, every Facebook, every Google, every Zillow review was not even remotely factored into any AI search conclusions, I don't think any of them would trust it for a mile. But they don't know that. And so they put their faith blindly into AI's recommendations, which are based only partially on what they can see. What can they see? They see the websites they source, the list I just gave you. So wait a minute, Jason. If I can get on those platforms, how do I influence them knowing that all my competitors' reviews are no longer a threat against me? I'm so glad you asked that. We're going to talk today about our first resource called Optimize Your Bio for AI Search. Now, alert, when you get my slides, I have hyperlinked this. Look at how my mouse cursor changes from a black arrow to a pointer finger. If you click on this like that, when you get my slides, it will open up this resource for you, where this is inside of the Academy. Because Ylopo is awesome, I have unlocked all the resources I'm sharing with you here for this group only. Otherwise, these resources are locked down only for AIM members. Now, I have not opened up the entire Academy, just the resources we're talking about together today. This first one is called Optimize Your Bio for AI Search. You're going to see this as kind of the standard order of my pages. It will always explain what it is. I talk lightning fast. If you want to read, it's going to reinform you what I just told you. It'll tell you how to use this. And then when you scroll down, you're going to find my prompt in the little box conveniently marked prompt. All you have to do is click on the little clipboard icon to copy the prompt. You then go to a ChatGPT session. You then simply paste the prompt. You make no changes and you hit go. And then what will happen is it will start to ask you questions based upon the structure of my prompt. I told it to ask you these questions. You're going to answer all these questions in the chat. And then when you're done answering this, it's going to rewrite your bio for you, optimized for AI search. I want you to imagine your bio might say something like this. Hey, Barry, you're in Virginia Beach, right?
I am, yeah.
All right, so the bio might be Barry Jenkins has been proudly serving the Virginia Beach residential real estate market for years and years and years, always striving to be the best realtor with whom any seller or buyer locally has ever worked with. He has earned a reputation of gold, having amassed more than 1,000 five-star reviews on Google, Zillow, Yelp, Fast Expert. It's going to literally bake the keywords that AI wants to find so that it has confidence in recommending you into your bio. And then where does that bio go? Of course, it goes on all the websites I just showed you. It's going to give you a short, medium, and long version just because there are varying levels, limitations on character count.
That's
So,
a nugget right there. Oh my
yeah, so
God.
get to it, y'all. Get to it. All right, let me jump back over to my slides. Here we go. Or here we go. Oh, this one's fun. So look at this. You got to be diplomatic now. Probably 2 months ago, every single AI search changed where they all started having this little line. It's like all the lawyers of OpenAI and Gemini and everybody got together and said, ooh, better watch out. We can't be making these recommendations So I did who's the best realtor in Baton Rouge? And it goes, if you're wondering who's the best realtor in Baton Rouge, the short answer is there's no single standout for everyone. It really depends on your specific needs. But it's Trey Willard. So what's funny about it is it's almost like gossip. It's like, I really shouldn't tell you what Gabe did last week on Zoom. And then I just do it anyways. It's like, but I don't know. It's lawyers clearly got around they got their arms around these AIs. However, what you'll notice is when you run these searches, you're going to start to see some of the sources that it cites have more to do with how to pick a realtor. So it's not just straight production stats. Imagine a blog about, like, watch this. If you do this search, there's the W group, and then look at the citation under the W group, right about here. Who's the best realtor in Baton Rouge? And then it's timed out with word count. If you follow that link, it's a blog on his own website that explains how to choose a top realtor, and then he nominates himself. And AI is like, oh, I picked Trey, and it puts him in there. Now, there is a smart, branded, not completely tool baggish way to do this, which he did very well. You want to provide value in your content, but y'all, there has never been an easier time to influence AI, because think about it. If you follow, I don't have time for this. I'm going to do this really quick, but this is important. There's a framework in human psychology called the diffusion of innovation. Think about when Blu-ray DVD players came out. You'll always have your you'll have innovators, and then early adopters, and then early majority, and then late majority, and then laggards will be the last to actually be able to get the product. What typically follows in any new technology is the people who use it first are traditionally more affluent. They afford the Blu-ray, the plasma, the whatever they get. They get the electric Tesla first because they have the money to do it. This is also happening right now with AI search. Guess who's using ChatGPT to search? Typically people who are innovators and early adopters. And so what we're actually finding is not only are you getting recommended by AI in their chats, but you're typically raising your price point because you're actually working with a more affluent customer in many cases. What's more, once again, I told you this, AI is not willingly disclosing the fact that it can't read reviews. It's giving the answer based upon what it can see, and it's selling that answer hard based upon what it can see. But what it can see is highly limited. So here you have a consumer who is willfully and blindly trusting AI. They're just going to follow, oh, I hear you're great at doing this. And they're going to believe it. And then you've got the ability to influence it, knowing that it can't even see reviews. So like this is a with great power comes great responsibility moment in terms of your own personal ethics. Do not lie or break boundary rules when it comes to stuff like this. But I got to tell you, I'll leave it at this. There's never been a more impressionable moment for your own search visibility online than right now. Never. All right, let's keep on rolling.
That's a statement right there. Like if you're listening to this, I mean, that is a statement.
It's just, man, it's never, we're going to double down on, we'll talk next coming up about not just how to get you found, how do you get your listings found in the same sort of conundrum. We'll talk about that coming up. Neil Patel said it best, ranking number 1 means nothing if you're losing to AI answers. This is the present and the future of search. It is ask, not search. Number 2, let's turn you into an AI market media machine, specifically local data and automatic content. Now, I want to share a thought with you really fast, or not a thought. It's really more of a question / a little housekeeping note for you. Most MLSs in America let their members run searches. So for example, I could do a search. I live in Nashville. I could search for homes for sale in 37064 zip code that are expired, canceled, withdrawn, or closed year to date. And then I can download all that data to a spreadsheet. For the most part, MLSs will give you direct access as a member to the data. I'm counting on that for what I'm going to show you here. Let me jump into this. I'm going to teach you how to talk about the market through your emails, your blogs, your podcast, your emails, like a market media machine. Now, why do we talk about the market? Well, what's the number one question people ask you? Hey, Gabe, hey, Barry, how's the market? Your ability to intelligently and thoughtfully answer, not just intelligently and thoughtfully, but hyper specifically relevant to their area, answer those questions is incredibly important. Think about it like this. I said I live in Nashville. If somebody sends me a market update video, or a market update email for all of Nashville, I don't care because Nashville is splintered like any other area. I care about my neighborhood, my area. But then you're like, well, Jason, are you suggesting that I should create market updates for all the different areas I serve? Yes, I am, because in a world of AI, time is nothing because we can split it and give it to AI and get so hyper local that it's going to be bananas how much of an efficiency gain AI can be for you in this. So I want you to imagine what would happen if you said, I'm going to create market update media, emails, blogs, podcasts, etc., for my geographic farm, for a specific price tier in my local marketplace, for a certain kind of home like mid-century modern homes, because your ability to query the MLS, get the data, and have AI build the hyper-specific materials, it's a game changer right now. We know through research from the National Association of Realtors that the attribute or characteristic sellers found to be most beneficial or actionable in terms of deciding to pick an agent was their knowledge. They gave me options. They were a knowledge broker. They seemed like they knew what they were doing. Your ability to demonstrate your competence of the marketplace is putting on display why every seller should hire you. And we're going to do that through emails, blogs, and podcasts. We're going to do it hyper specific. Now, first things first, let's talk about emails. And you're like, emails? Really? Why emails? Well, first off, let me announce this. Y'all are already doing a lot of email. I know you are because you have really great systems and tools with this group here. I'm talking about newsletter kind of emails for a moment, specifically HTML emails. HTML is a type of code. It just means the email has pretty charts and graphs and colors and photos and stuff like that in it. It's not just plain text. It's a beautiful branded email that matches your aesthetics, matches your brand. Now, you may be thinking though, like, but email's so old school. But is it? When I think about marketing channels, number one, like the first question is, I want to market where the people are. So where are the people? Well, you might be thinking, well, there's certainly a lot of people on social media, and you'd be right to make that judgment call. Facebook's got 3.27 billion monthly active users. YouTube's got 2.8 billion monthly active users. 2.6 bill for Instagram, 1.8 bill for TikTok. Yep, people are using social media like crazy, but look who walked into the party. Email, standing head and shoulders above the rest, the undisputed digital titan of all platforms. Email with 4.6 billion monthly worldwide users. And now you're thinking, yeah, but nobody actually cares. We just have it. Is that true though? Look at this data. This shows us how many times a day people are checking their platforms and how much time they spend in their platforms. Scroll to line number 4, TikTok. They say people are addicted to TikTok. 5 to 8 checks a day. People are spending approximately 58.4 minutes a day in the US scrolling through brain rot. I would argue that they are indeed borderline obsessed with TikTok. But oh my goodness, look at email. 15 to 20 checks a day. 99% of people check their email every single day. And 58% of people, it's the very first thing they check. They wake up in the morning, they reach for their phone, they ignore their significant other, and they look at their email before their Instagram, before their TikTok. They look at their email first. And now you're thinking cynically, of course, yeah, so they can go on a delete fest. Au contraire. The average person looks at an email for 9 seconds. And you're like, Jason, that's nothing. No. That's more than 3 times how long they watch your next Instagram reel. They're going to scroll within 3 seconds or less, almost guaranteed. If you can hold attention for an average of 9 seconds, that, my friends, is a channel to be doubled down on. Yet we treat email like it's this old school afterthought, and I don't even care about it. Once again, I don't have time for the story, but it came to mind. When I first got into real estate, I was an agent on a team / I was their marketing manager. And the dude who ran the team put me in charge of their email list. He had a database of like 30,000 people. And it came time for me to do the first newsletter. And so I said, hey, when do you want to connect so we can talk about the contents of this upcoming newsletter that we're going to send to 30,000 people who opted in to receive your communications? And here's what he said to me. I remember this. I think he thought he was like big and bad. He goes, we don't need to meet. I don't care what goes in that email. All I care is that they see my name, comma, realtor in their inbox. That's all I care about. Now, I have this condition where I just say what I think when I think it. And so, having no power distance with this guy at all, I responded and said, that's a really fascinating perception. Like, that's really sage, very wise. What happens when every time these 30,000 recipients in your database see your name, comma, realtor in their inboxes, they grow to hate you incrementally more because you are spamming them? He was like, we should probably meet and talk about what goes in this newsletter. Why? Because email's a privilege. You get 9 seconds of captive attention with every email on average. That, my friends, is a moment to have influence and build your brand. Hence why we're talking about email today. If your goal in marketing is to create this response, you're that agent. I see you everywhere. To be top of mind, you can't ignore email. Now, I know you have a lot of email platforms. Again, I want to clarify, I'm talking about newsletters. Most of you are probably considering a tool like one of these guys, Constant Contact, MailChimp. They're like, they have emails, whatever. I don't care about any of those, but I do want you to be advised of the fact that a lot of these email platforms that exist, there is a trap, the trap of templates. I am not a fan of templates. I was on the yearbook squadron when I was in high school, and they said, here's a template, make a collage. And I was like, okay. And I dropped things into my template and it looked like garbage. Why? Because I'm not a designer. And so if you find yourself in a position of trying to be a designer making templates, that may not be your highest and best use of time. And then there are cookie cutter templates. There's a lot of services that just send newsletters to your people without any thought to it. I'm not a fan. I think AI Designed provides a very interesting way to do this. And I'll show you what I mean. I'm using MailChimp. I'm not endorsing MailChimp. I just have it up here on the screen. Look at this email on the left. I did not write a word of this. I did not design a pixel of this. I did not analyze any of the calculations it's displaying. It was one thing, my prompt in Claude. Claude did all of this. I also gave it my MLS data. So it's my prompt and my MLS data. And then what it created for me was on the right hand, all the code. That's HTML. I don't know how to code HTML on my own, but Claude's quite good at it. And what I can do is copy and paste it. So what I have for you in the slides is another prompt. When you get this resource, all you have to do is click it. It is, once again, hyperlinked. Let's jump over to the resource. It explains what it is in case I talk too fast. It tells you how to use it in case I talk too fast or you want a refresher. And then it gives you the prompt. You're going to drop the prompt in Claude. It's going to ask you questions. It's going to make sure you give it MLS data. And then it's going to create the email for you so that all you have to do is check this out. Put the prompt in there. I drag and drop my MLS data in here, kind of like I drag and drop it into an email. And then voila, when I'm ready, it just makes this where all I have to do is click copy. And then I jump over to like a MailChimp or whatever, and I just paste it. And I have a beautiful branded email that I didn't design any of it. And it works like a charm every time. And it's based upon MLS data. And it even has angles. One of the questions it will ask you is there a specific kind of person within this recipient list that you're trying to influence? And so I'm like, anybody who should probably consider selling their house during the holidays, I'm looking for data that supports that narrative. And then it's like mission received, and it goes out and builds for you. You're effectively talking to it as if Claude, this AI, it's an alternative to ChatGPT. You're speaking to it as if it is actually your email designer who works for you, giving it your instructions in my prompt so you can get to work. All right, I got to pick up my pace a little bit. I'm going to hit these super quick so I can get to the next sessions because I'm definitely taking too long. Blogs. I have a note here to why pay for what AI does better. When was the last time you started analyzing some of the different things out there that maybe you're spending money on that are just like onesie twosie services that you invested in well before AI? That's why I love these Ylopo guys, because they take AI so seriously and they're making sure that what they're providing to their members is AI first and it's AI enhanced and it's got the efficiency gains. But I got to tell you, not everybody out there is like these guys. And so when was maybe this is the business planning season to go through and look and say, hey, is there a smarter, faster, better way to do this with AI? Something that can save me time, that can reduce my costs, boost capacity, and help me scale my efforts. For example, today I'm going to give you a blogger. I'm going to explain it, move on. When you get it, you're going to click on this. copy and paste the prompt. It's going to help you write blogs. It's going to ask you for MLS data. It's going to help you write explainers about what's happening in your local marketplace. It is easy, easy, easy. It's not done for you marketing. It's done with you marketing, of which I'm a big believer. You got to start thinking about AI as being this teammate, a collaborator in your business to help you make your marketing an extension of you versus just checking the box and it's generic vanilla fluff that every other realtor sends to their clients as well. Last one I want to mention here is a podcast before I move on to a couple more things. This one's awesome. So I've got a 1-2 punch on this. First, we need a podcast script. So let me give you the high level on what this prompt does. You copy and paste this prompt when you click on the resource into your ChatGPT, and it's going to ask you, what do you want to make a podcast about? And then you might say market news. You give it your MLS data, just drag and drop the spreadsheet into your chat, and it crunches the numbers, and it will literally write a word for word script for your podcast as if it was a transcript. It will include ums and ahs, and it will make you say things kind of like the same thing twice, where it sounds natural and not like it was read off of a teleprompter. It's going to make a natural sounding script. It's even, and when you're done with it, you're going to copy and paste what it writes into a tool called ElevenLabs. That is the number 11 spelled out with an E, ElevenLabs. ElevenLabs is a tool that clones your voice. We talk about this inside of AIM a lot. You feed it samples of your audio and it will learn to sound like you. Remember, words, images, videos, and sounds, outputs of AI. It can sound just like you. So you copy and paste your script into a little Word document thingy here. And I've got a note here that the script that ChatGPT writes for you, I've told it to include what are called SSML tags. That stands for Speech Synthesis Markup Language. It's going to tell it, hey, say this statement with power. Hey, end on a question mark, like an upswing. Take a little break here, pause before you go to the next sentence. It's almost like the way a musician reads music, where the music says play with gusto, forte, staccato. I've told your ChatGPT with my prompt to include these tags automatically. All you have to do is copy and paste. That's literally it. And then once you do that, I've got my voice selected and you click generate speech. Officially at the halfway mark of the year. So let's talk about what's really happening in the Franklin housing market. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. We're in a season of mixed signals. I pulled the numbers for site-built homes in Franklin from January through the end of June. And out of every listing that hit the market and has since resolved, only about 65% actually closed. The rest, nearly a quarter, were canceled, and another 11% expired without selling. That means roughly 1 out of every 3 listings in Franklin didn't sell. And that stat should give every homeowner pause. Because if you're thinking of selling or just watching the market, you're probably hearing 2 very different narratives. One says low inventory, high demand, prices are up. The other says my neighbor's house has been sitting for 90 days with no bites. So which is it? All right. So you might be like, oh, that was a lot really fast. When you get the resource that I share with you, let me show it to you really fast. I'm behind a couple. Nope. We're going to get to that. Here it is. When you get this resource, I want you to see that all the instructions on what it is, where do you use it, what's ElevenLabs, it's all listed here before it gives you the prompt. I'm not going to leave you up a creek without a paddle. Every resource. Now, I will mention this. When you get my resources, if you're not a member of my academy, it will require an email address to open it up. I am a professional marketer. You should be aware of that. But it will not require payment to get these resources from you. So just be advised on that. And of course, if you want everything in the academy, I'm going to give you a code in a moment to be able to get it. Most of this is video trainings, and I'll give you all that coming up here. All right, let's jump to officially a couple more sections here. I'm going to hit this one fast. You probably heard the news that Zillow is the first and only real estate app that's now inside of ChatGPT. I wish I had more time to talk about this because this is a big deal. Think about it like this. Did Zillow.com exist before app stores and before the iPhone? And the answer is it did, yeah. So first, Zillow had their website, and then the iPhone and mobile apps and iPads come out. And so what does Zillow do? They created their experience inside of an app. And so we take for granted apps, but actually, if you have a website, it doesn't mean you have an app automatically. Well, now, about 2 weeks ago, OpenAI, the company that owns ChatGPT, launched their new, it's called Apps SDK. SDK stands for Software Developer Kit. It's a horrible name, but what it means is that major platforms have the ability to build their apps inside of people's chats. So in other words, Zillow is the first and only app inside of ChatGPT. It looks like this. I'm looking for a large open kitchen 4-bedroom in 37064, and then it shows me listings in an app inside of my chat. First and only. Now, Realtor.com just did a big study. They said about 2 weeks ago that 82% of home shoppers are using AI in their search. That's a big number. You got to get ready. It's ask versus search, y'all. It's ask versus search. Since this news came out that Zillow's inside of ChatGPT, the reaction of agents would be best illustrated, I mean this with total love and grace, would be best illustrated by this AI-generated image. This is how I believe most agents have received the news that Zillow is now inside ChatGPT, basing this off of the text messages I was getting, DMs, comments, forums, Facebook groups. Agents were like, oh, we're out of business. This is the end of agents as we know it. Zillow's done it. The final nails in the coffin. We're done. I'm like, what? That is completely wrong thinking. Completely wrong. All we're dealing with here is the evolution of home search. Think about it. When home search first came out, like whatever it was 20 years ago online, consumers went from having no ability to search for homes to complete ability, and yet buyer's agents thrived. And so clearly the value proposition of a buyer's agent or any agent is not tied to you knowing which homes are for sale. That's not your value prop. This just makes it another avenue to make it easier and more convenient for consumers to search for homes. I find that personally to be great. We can leverage that. It's just glorified, evolved home search, but we have to ask a question, what data is Zillow actually sharing? There are licensing limitations with their data, and if you do the research and read the documentation, there's a lot they're not sharing. Just like reviews aren't getting shared with ChatGPT. It's not disclosing what it doesn't have. It's simply reporting on what it does have. And so the consumer moves on believing that they're getting everything when they're not. Zillow is sharing over basic data like bedrooms, bathrooms, price, and then they're making available to ChatGPT public listing remarks. What it doesn't know, ChatGPT doesn't see the photos. They're not visible to it. It can't read the photo captions, can't see any disclosures, has no idea what's in the realtor remarks, has no idea who the listing agent is, has no idea if there's a 3D tour or a 360 tour or a video that accompanies it, has no knowledge of any of that. All it knows is the basic specs and what's in the listing remarks. So what I have for you here is a prompt that's going to help you keyword optimize your listing remarks. Most agents' listing remarks that they put with their MLS are just hot air. No offense. It's like step into an abode that will make you feel the presence of splendor. And it's like AI's like, I don't think anybody searched for that. And so what we're going to do is help you. It's actually going to go through a pretty intelligent process. We know that, remember, people are giving their entire Christmas wish list. Santa Claus, I want a house that's got this, this, this. I want it to be sunset views, a flat backyard, walkable to Starbucks, all that kind of stuff. And so what we're going to include in the prompt is it's going to actually analyze your listing for you and find out what is it near, what are the views, outdoor living, architect. It's going to go through all these categories to figure out what your listing has going for it. And then it's going to ask you what MLS you're a part of so it can research how many characters you're limited to. And then it's going to write you a keyword optimized listing description so that when somebody searches for homes near a Starbucks, it finds yours. I mean, like, look at this. Let me see if I can find the chat. This is show me homes in Franklin that mention the coffee shop Frothy Monkey. Nobody mentions it. It's invisible. Okay. Show me homes that mention having an escape hatch in Brentwood. One list that's gone. It must have sold. There was one. It's gone now. Show me homes in Brentwood that mention being near a Starbucks. Only one listing in Brentwood? Are you kidding me? Why does it? Because it's in the public remarks. And so the value proposition of this is you have the ability to keyword optimize your listings whereby they get exposed to prospective buyers when everybody else's listings are getting crickets. That's a benefit to your seller. And when you have a benefit like that to your seller, my advice is you turn it into a marketable moment. You should be shouting from the high tops, this is what's happened. Here's what I'm doing about it. So I have another prompt for you to build an email campaign. When you click it, the email is going to look like this. It's going to use Claude to code it. It's going to have your logo, your colors, your fonts, and it's going to tell the client what has happened, what it means, what the catch is. And then at the very bottom, I like this. That's why every word of my listing descriptions is written with intent. The right keywords and context will help sellers' homes surface more often in AI-powered searches. Homes only sell when buyers see them. I make sure yours does. Our clients are sending these emails out. They're putting it in blogs, ads, and videos. And guess what they're getting? Listing appointments. Guess what else they're getting? They're hearing from frustrated sellers whose agents are not getting the job done that they want to switch over to them because why? They're marketing in an AI-first world. They're ahead. This is a marketable moment for you to show sellers in your local community that you are ahead. Now, I see the comments coming in, but I got to keep rolling. I'm sure there's stuff that I need to look at, but I'm going to keep on rolling. Last one, AI video intelligence, ad-worthy videos from prompt to publish. This is a very easy question to answer. With the market being what it is, slower in most areas, do sellers expect more from listing agents? And the answer is absolutely. They want to hear from you every day, and they want it all and the kitchen sink. They want emails, they want blogs, they want videos, they want ads, and they definitely want videos. We know 1,000-watt data. It reveals that sellers put a premium on social media content and video to promote listings. Now, I know y'all have a ton already inside of Ylopo. Let me show you one that can enhance a little bit above and beyond, just a little bit more to distinguish yourself as the ultimate listing agent when it comes to creating media that showcases your listings in a way that gives your sellers the stage in front of every prospective buyer. There are a lot of AI tools that make videos, ElevenLabs, Veo, and Runway. I want to show you this one here called Veo. It's built into Google's Gemini. And I want to show you what gave me the idea for what I'm going to give you next. This is a tweet from a prompt engineer who used Veo to create what would have been an ad for IKEA. And this was a free thing to create, spent $0, took her about 1 minute, and it would have been a $100,000 budget had she not used AI. Watch. That's pretty slick. So I thought, well, how do we reverse the logic? Because listing agents work hard to get their homes ready to show. And so I don't want to take an empty room and imagine it's staged. I want to show your home staged, have the AI remove all the furnishings, and then throw them back the way they were. I want to bring it back to the reality of what you made it, as if to personify, look what I made this listing when you market it. So check this out. This is one of our members, Felicia Lewis. She's out in Carmel Valley, San Diego. This is one of her listings. We gave it as a reference image. This is what it actually looked like when she staged it. Fed it my prompt from AIM. And then this was $0. This is free. And then about a minute later, I got this. And it put it back just the way it was supposed to be. Just the way it was supposed to be. Now, inside of our Facebook group, people have been using this like crazy. When it was opening weekend for football, they had a football drop instead of a box. For Halloween, I had some realtors make themselves jump out of a witch's cauldron for all kinds of stuff. I mean, they've been very, very creative. You might be thinking, so what do I do with a video like that? You run an ad. Imagine your seller sees an ad like this in their Facebook feed. Some listings get shown, this one gets remembered. Step inside 3427 Canyon View in Carmel Valley and you'll see why. Every room styled to draw you in, every detail designed to feel like home. This isn't staging for show, it's staging that makes you want to stay. This is a way to market their listing and market yourself as the one who made the listing what it is. I want to see you attract more business. I want to see you do more, faster, better with the power of AI. Now, you may be watching this. I wonder if this is you. Are you watching all that you can do with AI and thinking, it's probably just a fad? Kind of like Facebook was a fad, right? No, 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 no. Maybe you're watching this and you're like, by golly, I think Seth Godin was right. This is the biggest change since electricity. And right now, it is the moment in time to take action. The bullet train is going to speed away from the station into the future, but we have not left the station yet. It's just getting started. This could be a catalyst moment in terms of your marketing going so far beyond your competitors that you become the beacon to attract listings and buyers and opportunities. Going to help you do more, going to help you do it faster, going to help you do it better. Now, the reason why I partnered with Tom Ferry to create AI Marketing Academy is because we saw the opportunity, we see it still. And so AI Marketing Academy, what we do is we provide ongoing, continuous training. Every month, we choose a specific topic of marketing. So for example, last month we were focused on how do you launch a listing? And so all the content was how can we inject AI into your listing launch marketing? This month, we're building out marketing plans. Next month, we're going to be building out automated systems for next year. So every month, we choose a topic and then we provide step-by-step video trainings to explain exactly the tools, the prompts, everything you need to execute those strategies in your own marketing mix. We even include what we call live labs. Labs are live Zooms where I can see you and you can see me. I'm actually hosting this Friday. I'm hosting a couple of labs where we go through and I can answer questions and help you troubleshoot to make sure you're taking action on all the contents inside the academy. You get all the prompts, all the videos, all the tutorials, all the tools, everything and then some in the academy. Now, the membership for this, it is a subscription. We offer either a monthly or an annual membership. The monthly membership, if you scan that code, you can learn more about the memberships, or just go to aimarketingacademy.ai. That's our web link. You can learn more about it there. The monthly membership is $199 per month. The annual membership is $1,997 per year. So if you do the math, the annual membership is basically saving you 2 months worth of monthly payments. However, we are running a special and it's not going to run for long. We're about to turn it off. The special is AIM 50 off. When you get to the credit card screen, there's a promotional field box. And if you put AIM 50 off and then tap apply on that code, you're going to see your membership fee, whether it's annual or monthly, drop by 50%. So it will be $99.50 per month. And it's not just the first month, it's every month forever as long as you're a member. This code is about to expire, so if you want to get into the academy, now is the time. Once you apply the code, it's yours forever. Again, it works on both annual and on monthly. If you have questions and need us, you can email our team, info@jasonpantana.com, or learn more at aimarketingacademy.ai. If you're looking to leverage what is the biggest innovation technologically any of us has lived through, I would love to help be a guide in terms of what's working for real estate right now to help you move the needle in your marketing as it relates to AI. All right, I got one more QR code here. If you scan this QR code, you can download my slides. It will ask you for an email, and then it's going to email you all the slides. And they are already loaded up for you. Remember, I have hyperlinked the resources to go get the prompts. Just scan that code right there, fill out the form, and you're going to have my slides. And I want to say thank you to everybody for being on today's session. All right, let's see what we got here.
Yeah, so many comments, so much engagement, so much excitement. I think you really were able to show the next big thing, which is AI is becoming normalized. And so now the nuance.
Commercially viable.
Yeah, the nuances of it. That's really going to be the next great divide. Before it was like, use it. Now it's like, learn it.
Yeah, and a lot of people are using it, but they're using it for small tasks. And what I'm focused on is, how do I solve problems in your business? How do I eliminate bottlenecks in your business and save you time? And then how do I help you create more scale in your business, which is a similar mindset that we all share together, is helping agents scale their business. And so that's why this is the perfect group to be talking to, because we're all thinking, I think, in the same direction right now.
Absolutely.
I see Byron's comments. So the monthly plan is normally $199, Byron. It's half off. So $99.50 per month forever. There are no contracts. It's month to month or year to year, whichever plan you choose to do.
Yeah, no, that's great. Amazing. Yeah, I mean, I know I learned a few things I wasn't aware of. I don't know if you did, Gabe.
Yeah, no, I love it. I wasn't exactly sure why in your examples though, Barry got to be the best agent ever, and I somehow got in trouble on a webinar, but we can talk about that later.
Hey, would you like me to have a redo? You want a redo? I'll do a redo next time. I'll make Barry the bad guy, and you can.
It's more appropriate. Definitely.
That's why I invited both of them. Gave you options.
Yeah. I just knew, Gabe, you were so self-assured you didn't need it.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. No, this is incredible. I mean, it just the fact that it's literally telling you where we're resourcing a couple of the notes that I had where to go put time into. I love that. I had no idea it was not scanning reviews. I had no idea.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Hey,
Yep.
they're asking for the discount code again, Jason. in the
I
chat.
saw that comment. I'm gonna bring that slide back. There it is. AIM 50 off. And I would use it soon. My team and I are working on rolling it back. There's probably a few days with it, but I would use it soon.
Okay. That's
Thank
awesome.
you. Appreciate that 50% off for life. Wow, what a benefit.
life.
I mean,
For
and
life.
this is evolving very, very rapidly, right? No one can keep up, especially agents that are in production and needing to keep a pulse on all of the updates every single week and all the different systems and which competitor to use, because there's 5 systems that do one thing. Jason's doing this full time. So that's why we wanted to bring him on. Gabe and I saw him speak, and we were like, hey, you know, we do a lot of AI for our agents, but I think that it would be valuable to have you come talk to them about things they're curious about and just give them the answers, right? Like save the research, just give them, here's what's working right now today. Yeah, give them an opportunity with a discount to work with you. But even if not, this session was highly valuable. I mentioned in the chat a couple times, like, nugget, that was a golden nugget. Like there's some really good stuff here, Jason. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a great time, man. Yeah, seriously, not such valuable stuff. The group was so pumped. So yeah, we'll have to have you back again. And as this all kind of continues to develop, man, I think it's a huge value to the community.
Would love that. So grateful for all of you guys. Thanks for the good work you do. Thanks for having me on. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
All
right.
right.
Good. Thanks.